Welcome to the fifth lecture of electric power system. Here we will discuss the advantages and limitations of high voltage transmission. So the lecture overview is as such. First we will discuss the comparison of DC and AC transmission. Second, we will discuss the advantages and limitations of high transmission voltages. So let us start with electric power transmission. Electric power can be transmitted by means of AC or DC. So here you can see that we can transmit the electric power in terms of DC supply or in terms of AC supply. So either you can use a DC supply or AC supply to transmit electric power. Now we will discuss what are the advantages and limitations of sending power through this DC mode as well as AC mode. Next, each system has its own merits and demerits. So both DC system as well as AC systems will have its own merits and demerits. So therefore it is very desirable to discuss the technical advantage as well as disadvantage of the two systems, that is DC as well as AC, for transmission of electric power. Now first we'll start with advantages of DC transmission. So let us start with DC first. What are the advantages? First advantage is that you are basically using two conductors here. So you are basically using two conductors as compared to three for AC. So in case of DC, you will be using two conductors. However, in case of AC, you will be using three conductors. So this is one of the advantages of having DC transmission as compared to AC transmission. Next, you will not have any impact of the inductance, capacitance and the phase displacement in case of DC. So this is inductance, so this is inductance and this is capacitance, and this is phase displacement. So inductance, capacitance and phase displacement has no role in case of DC, because you know that inductance, capacitance will occur only when there is electric field or when there is a magnetic field. So these all quantities generally arise due to AC supply, so there will be no surge problem. Surge problem basically means that if there is a sudden rise in the voltage, then it is said to be the surge problem. So there is no surge problem in case of DC, whereas it is there in case of AC. Next, if the inductance is not there, if you do not have the inductance, L is absence, if you do not have inductance, then what happened to comparison? The voltage drop in case of your DC is far less as compared to your AC under the condition for same load and supply voltage Vs. So Vs stands for sending end voltage. So this is your sending end voltage. So this is your sending end voltage. So your drop, the voltage drop that you have, the voltage drop that you have for DC is far less than compared to AC, because inductance is absent. Next, for this reason, a DC line is better than to have a less voltage regulation. So your DC line will give you a better voltage regulation. You know what is voltage regulation? We have discussed that in electrical machine subjects. Voltage regulation is nothing but the change in the voltage. from no load to full load, from no load to full load. So change in the voltage from no load to full load is the voltage regulation. So if you have a DC line, it will give you a better voltage regulation. It will give you a better voltage regulation. Okay, so this is one of the advantage. Next advantage that we are going to discuss is the skin effect. You know what is a skin effect? So skin effect means that the entire cross section of the line conductor will be utilized, because the current, if this is a conductor, the current will flow on the top surface in case of AC. The conductor current will flow in the top surface in case of AC. But in case of DC, the conductor will flow in the entire surface. Okay, so there is no skin effect problem. As such, you will be using the entire cross section of the line conductors. Second, working voltage, that is a stress, voltage stress. Voltage stress in case of DC is less as compared to AC. Voltage stress in case of DC is less as compared to AC. Hence, what you will have, the less insulation will be required. So whenever you have some conductor, there you will have some insulation. So this insulation will be requiring less in DC as compared to AC. Next, you will have less corona loss, and reduce interference with communication circuit. So what is corona loss? Generally you will see that in conductor transmission line there is a hissing noise. This is due to the electric field that is present around the conductor, which magnetize the air. So due to this air magnetization or the electric field presence, what we have, there is a corona loss, the charging of the air. So this is corona loss. So in case of DC, you do not have any corona loss or interference with the communication circuits, which you have in case of your AC supply. Now high voltage DC transmission is free from dielectric losses. So this dielectric loss is associated with the insulation. So you do not have any dielectric losses in HVDC transmission, particularly in case of cables. So here when we want to transmit the power, we can transmit the power through overhead transmission lines or underground cables. Now that we are going to discuss more when we are going to discuss the transmission system. So in case of cables, you will see that the charging effect is more. So in case of cables, your charging current is more. This charging current give rise to the more losses due to the capacitance, which is in case of AC. But in DC, you do not have this charging current. That is an advantage. Next, you do not have a stability problem and synchronizing difficulties. So you do not have a stability problem. What is the stability problem? In case of AC, you have synchronous machines. So synchronous machine, as you know, that it has to maintain the synchronism. So it has to maintain the synchronism. The synchronous speed has to be, in machine we have discussed, the synchronous speed has to be the rotating speed of the rotor. So if this is not equal, then you generally arise a stability problem. So that is the advantage, that in DC you do not have these difficulties. So these are the few of the advantages of DC transmission. And we have some disadvantage of DC transmission. What are the disadvantage or limitations? So electric power will not be generated at high DC voltage. You know that electric power can't be generated. Electric power can't be generated at a high DC voltage, due to that having commutation problem. So this commutation problem is presents in case of your change or the reversal of the current in case of your synchronous machine. So electric power will not be able to generate at a high DC voltage. So commutation generally occur in case of your DC machine. We have discussed DC machine. So in DC machine there is a phase reversal of the current. So you know that inside you are having a AC supply, but outside this AC supply changes to DC in case of your DC machine. So these rise to commutation problem. So due to which we can't generate the power at a very high voltage. Second, the DC voltage cannot be stepped up for transmission, because you know that transformer operate in AC, which is required to step up or step down the voltage. Now in DC we can't use the transformer, as such we cannot step up the transmission voltage. So that is the heavy limitation of the DC transmission. Now the switches and circuit breakers, that we use have their own limitations. What are the limitations? So as the voltage increases, more and more stress is produced, due to which this switch and circuit breaker do not operate efficiently in case of your DC supply. So that limitations are there for the DC transmission. Now we will discuss the advantage of AC transmission. So we have discussed the advantage of DC transmission. We have discussed the limitation of DC transmission. Now we are going to discuss the advantage of AC transmission. So you will see that nowadays the electrical energy is almost exclusively generated, transmitted and distributed in the form of AC only. So AC has got an advantage, because of which all the electricity are generated, transmitted and distributed in the form of AC. Power can be generated at a high voltage. This is the big advantage of AC, because you have a transformer, you have a generator, synchronous generator, which both operate with AC supply. So the power generation is done at high voltage with the help of the alternators. The maintenance of AC substations is easy and cheaper. So it is easy and cheaper for the maintenance of AC substations as compared to the DC substations. The AC voltage can be stepped up or stepped down with transformer with ease and efficiency. So you can step up the voltage or step down the voltage with the help of a transformer, which is a great advantage for the AC supply, which can't be get in case of the DC. This permits to transmit power at high voltage. This permit the transmit power at high voltage and distribute it safe potential. So when the power is generated, it has to be stepped up at a high level to transmit the power economically. That we will discuss. Now, what are the disadvantages of AC transmission? AC lines require more copper. Because we have already seen that in AC lines you require 3 conductors, whereas in DC lines you require 2 conductors. So you will require more copper in case of AC line. Construction of AC line is more complicated in construction of AC line than the DC transmission line, because it involves the transformers and other more apparatus that is not present in case of your DC transmission line. And due to the skin effect, we have already discussed skin effect, the resistance of the line will be increased, due to which more losses will take place in case of AC transmission. And in AC line you have capacitance. AC line, you know, there is a capacitance, so there will be a continuous loss of power due to charging even when the line is open. So even you do not connect any load to your AC line, but due to the presence of capacitance there will be a continuous charging which will result in loss. So what is the conclusion then? So there is a fight between a DC transmission and AC transmission. So which one is better? We have discussed the advantage as well as limitation, but let us conclude the point then. high voltage DC transmission is superior than the AC counterpart. So if you want to transmit the power, if you want to transmit the power at high voltage, then DC is better as compared to AC. When you want to transmit the power, your DC is better as compared to your AC. At present, AC transmission is used, but however, at present, the trend is to use AC is used, but there is a growing interest of DC transmission. There is a growing interest or increasing interest for DC transmission. We are moving from the AC transmission to the DC transmission. We have discussed the advantage of DC transmission. Now, the transmission of power using the DC lines can be possible with the help of mercury arc rectifiers and thyratrons. These two devices had made it possible to transmit the power in DC by conversion of AC to DC and DC to AC easily and efficiently. So easily and efficiently you can convert the power from AC to DC and DC to AC. These devices operate at a power rating of 30 megawatt at a voltage of 400 kV single unit. So with the use of mercury arc rectifier and thyratrons, you can change the voltage from AC to DC and DC to AC, which operate at a maximum of 30 megawatt power. So the power is 30 megawatt at a voltage of 400 kilovolt with a single unit. Okay, so this is the devices. So the present day trend is if you have a generation distribution that you do with AC supply but DC used for transmission. So transmission is for DC and generation and distribution it is better to do with AC. Now from this figure you will understand how the generation, transmission and distribution of power can be done with the help of AC to DC supply. So here you have the generating substation or the alternators. So here you know the power is being generated at a voltage of 11 kV or 22 kV. So this is done with AC. So this is the generation. Now using a transformer you can step up the voltage. Using a transformer you can step up the voltage. So after stepping up the voltage, using mercury arc rectifier, you can convert the AC supply to a DC supply. Okay, because here you have to do the transmission. This is generation, this is transmission. So transmission is being done by DC, but we have discussed that the distribution has to be done on AC. So this DC supply has to be back converted into AC with the help of a thyratron. Then the voltage is stepped down with the help of a transformer, that is the receiving transformer in the substation, and then AC distribution is there. So here you can see that the generation and distribution is done using AC supply and transmission can be done using DC supply. So that will give you the most efficient and easy way to transmit the power. Now, why we are always telling that the generation voltage is stepped up with the help of a transformer. What is the advantage? What is the advantage of high voltage transmission, high transmission voltage? Why we want that the voltage has to be stepped up? So let us see that. So first advantage that you will get is reduce the volume of the conductor material. Reduce volume of the conductor material. So this is the first advantage. Now, in order to understand that, we will look from a mathematical point of view how the volume of the conductor material reduces when the voltage increases. So if you increase the voltage, the conductor material reduces. How it is that? Let us see. So load current, when you have a conductor, the current I is equal to this equation. So this is the three-phase power equation. Power is equal to root 3 voltage into current into cos of phi. That is the power factor. We have discussed in the very fundamental class this thing, root 3 VI cos phi. So now you understand these root 3 when you have been using, if you are using root 3, this is your line voltage and this is your line current, right? So the load current is basically your line current. Load current is basically your line current. So from this equation, you can easily derive what is the amount of the current. So amount of the current is power divided by root 3V cos phi. Okay. Then the resistance of the per conductor will be defined by R is equal to rho L by A, where rho is the resistivity of the material and L is the length of the conductor and A is the cross sectional area of the conductor. So this is the resistance per conductor. So what is the power loss then? So the power loss W is equal to 3 times, because you have 3 conductors, 1, 2 and 3 in AC line, you have 3 conductors. So 3 into I square R. So substitute the value of the current I and the resistance R here. So you will get the power loss as P square rho L by V square cos square phi into A. So area of the cross section you can derive from this equation. So from this equation, the area of the cross section you can derive taking the RHS to LHS side to get the area of the cross section. Next, you know that the volume of the conductor material is 3 times the area into length, because you have 3 conductors, so 3 times area into length is the volume. So you will get the volume here. So this is the equation for the volume of the conductor material. So if you observe the conductor material carefully, you know that the power remaining constant in case of a transmission, the resistivity of the material is constant, the length of the conductor material is constant. So when we talk about the voltage, power factor and the power loss, so you will be getting that the volume of the conductor is inversely proportional to the square of the voltage and the power factor. So if you consider that this cos square phi is less or 1 unity, let us consider for the unity power factor condition. So you will see that the volume is inversely proportional to the square of the voltage. So what does it mean? That if you increase the voltage, two times, the volume of the conductor will be reduced by 4 times. So that is the advantage of high voltage transmission. The first advantage what you have, that it will reduce the volume of the conductor material for the high transmission voltage. Second, you will have a high increase in transmission efficiency. So how do we increase the transmission efficiency with high voltage? So let us see that. Now the power input. So if you consider this is a system, and here you have the input and here you have the output. So the difference between these two will give rise to the losses. Correct? The difference between these two will give rise to the losses. So the input power is equal to the output power. P is the output power here, because this is the load, right? So this is the output power, P output, plus the total amount of the losses. So total amount of losses we have already calculated in the previous advantage, talking about the previous advantage. So this is the total amount of the losses. What is the total amount of losses? 3 times I square into R. So this is the total losses. So now if you consider that J is the current density in the conductor, so this area, can you replace it? This area will be the current divided by the current density. So if you replace that, the final equation that you get for the input power is this. The final equation that you get for the input power is this. So if you do little bit of manipulations here, where you have to substitute the area of the conductor as I by J, and you have to substitute the current also in terms of the power, root 3 V cos phi divided by the power equations, you are getting this equation. You are getting this equation of the input power. So efficiency, you know that the efficiency is defined as the power output by power input. So output power is basically P, and the input power, you have already got this equation. So by binomial expression, so you can explain the equation by binomial theorem, binomial reduction, you are getting this equation. You are getting this equation. So in order to increase the efficiency, this term has to be reduced. Right? If this term has to be reduced, the voltage has to increase. If you increase the voltage, then only your second term will reduce. So this indicates that if you increase the voltage, the efficiency also increases. If you increase the voltage, the efficiency also increases. The third advantage that we are getting is the decrease in percentage line drop. So if you increase the voltage, the drop in the voltage, is reduces. So how it is like that? So let us see. So percentage line drop, you know that if you have a resistance of the conductor as R, then the line drop is IR. And then you substitute R is equal to rho L by A. The resistance, you substitute rho L by A. And then you substitute the current to be the current density by I as the area of the conductor. Then you will get the line drop as this equation. J, that is the current density, rho, that is the resistivity, L, I is the current, and V is the voltage. Okay, so the percentage line drop you have seen. Now here, if you see, current density in the conductor is remaining constant, resistivity is constant. Now current and voltage, so if a current and this is the voltage, so if the voltage is increasing, the drop in the line will decrease. Okay, so this is the next advantage of having the high voltage transmission. But if we are increasing the voltage, we are getting the better the power efficiently, then what is the limitation then? Until how far we can increase the voltage? What is the limitation then of high transmission voltage? Why not we are keep on increasing the level of the voltage? That we will see. So first limitation is that the increased cost of insulating the conductor, because when you have a conductor and this is the insulation over which, so if you increase the voltage, transmission voltage, this stress on this insulation will be very high. So that will increase the cost of insulating the conductor. Second, the cost of transformer, switchgear and other terminal apparatus will increase. So whenever you are increasing the voltage, so what you have, you have a transformer, so that transformer, switchgear and other terminal apparatus cost will increase. So this is the limitation. Third, now, if this is the limitation, so that will limit the voltage, higher transmission voltage, so that we can economically transmit the power. So that decision we have to make, till what level of voltage we can increase so that we get maximum benefit of transmitting the power economically. So there is a limit which is reached when the saving in cost of conductor material, so there is a cost saving conductor material due to higher voltage is offsetting the increased cost of insulation, transformer and switchgear. So here we have discussed the increased cost of insulation, transformer, switchgear, other terminal apparatus. And we have discussed the advantage that there will be a saving in the cost of the conductor. So which one is more when you are basically increasing the level of the transmission voltage, that you have to decide. So proper choice of the transmission voltage is essential, is a question of economics. So basically what choice of voltage you are basically taking to transmit the voltage, that is a pure choice of economics. Okay. So in the next class, we are going to discuss the various systems of power transmission. In DC and AC, what are the various systems of power transmission? And then we will be comparing the conductor material in overhead system. So in overhead system, we will compare like how the conductor materials, what are the volume of the conductor material, how the conductor material are used for the efficiency of the power transmission. So thank you for this class.